Welcome to your daily focus for September the 4th, 2017. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Now let's see what the energy is going to be for us today. The World card. You know, we are coming upon a full moon. And so the World card is just the most amazing card to show up here because it shows us where the endings need to happen, where the new beginnings have to start. Okay, we have come full circle. We now know what we need in our path. You know, it's kind of like the Seven of Swords energy that has been showing up lately. But this is more finalized into new beginnings, into new awareness, into new perceptions. But we have to close the doors on things that need completion in our life, endings in our life, healing in our life. Page of Swords. Oh, okay. Be careful. He's the middle energy here. We want to watch the Page of Swords energy. We don't want to say or do something spur of the moment. You know, Page of Swords is this young energy that just wants to get things going. Let's move forward. Let's stir up the pot. Let's do something, anything. This is boring. I'm tired of working on me. I'm just going to say it and see where the chips land. I've got this. Little guy flying around. I don't know where he came from, but he's with us. Problem is when we're young, and think about as you were young and you made certain decisions on the spur of the moment. Mom and dad said no, and you said, oh yes, I can. And you went ahead and did it, and chances are you landed flat on your face because we didn't think it through, because we did it spur of the moment. We didn't have a plan. So be careful what we say today. Be careful our actions today. Make sure that it is conscious actions, conscious words. We're not doing it in the spur of the moment. We're not saying something because we thought it. We actually processed it before we thought of the value that it is going to bring in or take away from our path forward. And the Empress. We've had such strong, strong, strong energy. The Empress is here. The Empress is the new birth, the new beginnings, the rebirth, the new starts. A beautiful card. And she's been in our energy a lot lately too. So we have the World card and the Empress, and in between the two are the Page of Swords. So our actions and our words, we need to watch what we are actually putting completions on, endings on today. What doors we are closing. Did we mean to close that door? Was it a slip of the tongue? And this is all about these new seeds that we planted at the solar eclipse, at the new moon. And that energy is going to last up to 6 months in our lives, about these new seeds that we've planted. So they were strong. So hopefully we put them in fertile soil. Hopefully we did the legwork. But if we didn't, now we really have to be conscious of what we are closing the door on, what we are saying aloud, and how that's going to affect our path forward. Does it bring in value? Does it bring in strength? Does it bring in a solid foundation or security? Does it bring in good health? Does it move you towards that career, that stature in the community, that relationship? Or does it take you farther away from it? So the World card is very much new beginnings, but new beginnings can't happen sometimes until we complete the old. But we've come full circle. We have the wisdom. Now, are we honest with ourselves? Will we actually act upon our wisdom? Or do we stay in our comfort zone? Do we stay in our rut? Do we not allow the closing or the ending to happen in our life in order for that new beginning to appear? Page of Swords in the middle. Sometimes this is honoring your inner child. And what do we have in Leo? Well, you know what we have in Leo. We have Mercury um, going stationary within the next day or two. So it's been in retrograde. And if you can imagine then a planet moving forward, and then it just holds for a second or two, like a pendulum, then it comes back through. We've come back through. We've walked that same path again. Now we are going to walk that path forward with an intelligence, and Mars leads the way. So it'll be action first, words second as we go forward. And Mars is right there, too, at 28 degrees of Leo, right where the new moon solar eclipse happened. So we have a lot of energy there right now. So we want to honor the inner us. We want to, and we are going to stand strong, and we are going to stand proud, and we are going to say or do something that actually may be working against us if we haven't thought it through, if we haven't planned it out, if we haven't had that solid foundation behind it in order for it to have a strength, in order for it to have a wisdom of its own. We have the Empress. The Empress talks all about these new beginnings that we can step into today, these new starts, these new paths forward, making decisions on what can be in our lives, maybe the impossible becoming possible. Let's get a affirmation card here from the Good Tarot. The first one was the Witch's Tarot Companion. And then, of course, we will go to our higher intuition animal cards at the end. We'll get our affirmation for today. Four of Earth. Oh, very grounded energy with the Four of Earth. Maybe it's a little bit about being grateful today for what we have in our lives, of having a patience for everything to arrive in its own divine time. Ownership, the beauty of divine order, the divine odor, roses, lavender. But ownership, the beauty of divine order, trusting in a solid foundation. Even if I feel shaken up and unable to understand why things happen as they do, I know for certain that divine order manifests in all aspects of my life. What I have built rests on a solid foundation, so there is no need to fear. While it is true that nothing is permanent in the material world, I find security in the existence of a divine plan. Spirit is always there to remind me that I am exactly where I am meant to be for my highest good and the highest good of all, and that I always have abundance available to me. I always have abundance available to me. What a beautiful affirmation you can start your day with and say it throughout the day. I always have abundance available to me. I always have abundance available to me. So even if you feel shaken up, even if you feel restless, even if you feel confused and unable to understand why things are happening, don't worry, you will understand in hindsight. This is really going with the flow. This is trusting in yourself, in God, your angels. What I have built rests on solid foundation, so there is no need to fear. And even if the ground feels shaky underneath you, every decision that you've made has been for your greatest good. And in hindsight, sometimes we see that we could have taken another path, but only because we have grown in the wisdom. Only because we can then see the different path forward. So it was supposed to happen in that way, so you gain the wisdom, the knowledge. Spirit is always there to remind me that I am exactly where I am meant to be. So you didn't miss the boat. And don't worry about, I don't think with this card, it's a detailed kind of, any of the cards actually, it's a detailed kind of day. It's more of the big picture yet. Now don't worry, we'll get into the details because Mars goes into Virgo. And, that's detailed. That's looking at the details, getting the details done, getting the small stuff out of the way so that we can then return to the big picture. And let's get our wise animals. Get busy with the bee. Get busy. We've been having the bee a little bit lately, haven't we? Get busy with the bee. Oops. I lost him there. Busy, active, goal setting, and fertility. Remember, the Empress is all about fertility as well. The happiest people are those who are too busy to notice whether they are or not. B tells you it's time to get busy. Instead of trying to get all your projects done by yourself, ask for assistance. Everybody has strengths. Some are leaders, while others are followers. Know what category you best fit in and use that to your advantage. While you may hate to clean, there's others who love it. While you may love to organize, others may need your direction on how to best accomplish it. There shouldn't be shame in your talent, cooperation, and delegation. And we do have the moon, I believe, in Aquarius, which is all about working with groups of people, working with the collective. Cooperation and delegation is key with B. Embrace B by taking small steps, but begin the project or task in front of you, even if it seems impossible. And any action is action towards fulfilling your goal. Any action is action. So don't think that you have to take these giant leaps and these giant steps. Okay? Something small. One of the most important things to remember if you want to be successful is that procrastination is your biggest enemy. Delaying things sabotages your goal. Don't lose hope and remain determined. B is also known for fertility, and this may be a sign that it is the right time to add a child to your life, or you may hear of someone close to you. She is pregnant. You may want to start an exercise program. B lets you know that in order to motivate yourself, you need to work as a team instead of running on the treadmill. Join a volleyball team. Instead of walking around the block by yourself, ask your neighbor to join you. The pressure you put on yourself will greatly decrease if you engage others who can help motivate you. And what was I thinking here? Embrace B by taking small steps, but begin the project or task in front of you, even if it seems impossible. Any action is action towards fulfilling your goal, okay? Because we want to put endings on those goals. We want to finish those goals. We want to take them off our priority list. So we walk into new energy. And that'll happen in the new moon. So we have now until the new moon to put really the energy into completing, to ending, to healing. Okay? Watch what you say. Watch your actions. Be conscious of whether or not they're going to bring value into your life today. That's so very important. And remember, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.